took a little hiatus, like 2 weeks. It's all my fault, not my guest's fault. I had a headache, so I wasn't going to do that. And then we didn't have heat. So I wasn't going to be down in the cyber studio and freeze and wear like a hoodie. Even though I do have a llama corn onesie I could have worn. Was my profile picture for a bit, right? You guys would want to see that? No? Okay. No. Welcome to Point Up Conversation. I'm here with the usual guests. I have Vegeta, aka Marvin. Say what's up.
What's up?
We got Gamer. Welcome back.
Howdy. Hey, what's going on?
And we got the partner in crime, Neo. What's up, buddy?
What's going on?
All right, so when we left off, we were going to talk about Funscape, which came out around here in 1995 and closed in 2000. But before we get into that, because we're going to give everybody a few minutes to get in here, I do want to see what you guys have been doing for the last 2 weeks. It's one of the little running things that we do just to give people time to come in before we start chatting. So, Vegeta, what have you been doing the last 2 weeks?
Working overtime, which sucks. A bunch of phone deployments after hours. That's
suck.
Not fun. Playing a whole lot of Apex, reading a lot actually, and still trying to play some more Tekken because I'm just kind of like, the state of the game at the moment. That's about it.
Yeah. We'll talk. We'll get some Tekken talk in. Actually, we might start with that since it's so short. Gamer, 2 weeks. What you been up to?
Been bouncing around. Been actually getting back into Street Fighter. Surprisingly, some of the Memphis fools got me back into Street Fighter. Then, of course, the update just happened.
Which we're going to talk about as well.
Also, was playing the Guilty Gear beta when I finally got in there. But yeah, I tried the Guilty Gear beta, which was surprisingly really good.
And we'll try and drop some knowledge in on that as well. I did not play it. God, that game looks so good, though. I mean, some of these fighters, man. Dragon Ball Fighters and Guilty Gear graphically look so good, but do you really need that in a fighting game? Like, I feel like it's too much for somebody that watches Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and can play it at a competitive level. It's like there's so much happening. My eyes it's like dust particles in the air. I can't see what's happening. But
yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
everybody. Some people just gotta have the actual sparkles or the extra fire or something.
I want to have like a performance mode where you can just turn the graphics all the way down. I want stick figures and just let them go, and I'll keep up with like footsies, right?
Oh God,
they're like a solid red and solid blue.
Right, exactly. I just let me just see the hitboxes. That's all I need. John, last 2 weeks, what you been up to, man?
2 weeks.
Yeah, we missed 2 coin ops.
Yeah, you're right. Work has been heavy. It's weird because it was slow for probably the past couple months, and then it's just suddenly starting to pick up. So, been working the hell out of me. I mean, outside of that, not much. Just work and being at home and hanging in there. That's it.
I hear you. I hear you. So for me, guys, I mean, for me, mostly, I haven't really been working much. I'm still been trying to take care of my foot and trying to get heat back in this house, which we still don't have, but we have ways to heat up a room at least. So that's why right now in the cyber studio, I have taken a space heater from the family. So we can't go long tonight, but we're here.
On your, I think I froze on your end.
You did freeze. What happened?
I don't know. I look like I fell asleep.
Okay, there he is. He woke up. Hey.
That's what?
Oh,
Are you there?
Yeah, I was working in.
Chat, is he still frozen for you guys? Are you frozen? Are you good?
No, I'm good now.
He's good
That's
now.
so
yeah,
weird.
It
What
is
happened?
weird, especially I'm looking at the Discord version and I'm seeing seeing both sides. So
Yeah,
one
you
is
just-
frozen, while the other one's moving.
I don't know. It ain't me. It's his internet. Even though I work for that company, so it's not his internet. It's his computer. That's what it is.
Ugh. better not be.
But today I did have to go and give blood. Not because I wanted to, not that I wouldn't want to, but I had to for labs for the upcoming surgery. Yeah. They also, for whatever reason, so I had to do an EKG. I've never had to do that for
wow.
I've never had to do that for a procedure before, but I had to do an EKG, which is fine. If you don't know what that is, that's where they put little sticky stuff all over you to monitor your heart. I don't know what that has to do with. I guess that's for, maybe that's just what they do there, but I've had procedures before and I've never had that happen before. So
I'm guessing it's blood flow.
What are you getting it? Where are you getting it done?
Virginia Beach.
Because they did, when I had my sinus surgery, they did hook me up to EKG.
They did do an EKG on you as well. Mm-hmm. So I haven't done that before, but like I have hairy legs, and so when the nurse was like, "Hey, we're gonna put the EKG on you," she was like, "I need to shave your ankles first." I'm like, "What? You for real?" So yeah, so she shaved a little. I'm not wearing shorts anytime soon. But here's the thing, though. They said when they do the surgery, because they're going to cut all the way up into my calf, they're going to shave my leg anyway. So one leg is just going to be wrestler, right? It's just going to be wrestler.
You might
as well go ahead, full commit, man. Go ahead and get them both.
Should I do that, guys? Should I just shave both my legs?
Just bald them.
Tell them to do both.
Bald them both.
I don't know. I mean, it's like right at the start of the summer.
But you're gonna look weird, man. Walking around with one clean leg and one hairy leg, man. That's gonna look awful.
I should just wear. I'm just gonna wear jeans. What's that, Piper? Well, spring, yeah, spring. Sorry, I meant spring. She had to correct.
Cool J with the pant leg rolled up.
Shane said that he had an EKG and had the same thing happen. Yeah, she had like this little like dry razor too, like so it was like not even like no care in the world. Just I'm like, come on, like I would rather just take the thing off and just deal with like the wax peel. But anyway, and then I had to do physical therapy, and then I came back here and I jumped on. I was like, we're not going 3 weeks in a row without a coin op conversation. So yeah. So we're going to start off tonight. And by the way, I hope chat, let us know how you guys are doing. How have you been for the last 2 weeks that we have not been live? And let me know if you've been watching it on YouTube, if you went back and watched our other coin op conversations on YouTube, because they're there. If you missed them, they're there. Just go give them a click, a sub while you're at it. However, I want to talk about the Mortal Kombat trailer, guys. It broke. What was it? Last week it broke. I think it came out.
Yep. Yeah, last week.
And so we briefly talked about it on the Weekly Geekly with Eric and Omega, but I wanted to get your guys' perspective, especially Vegeta, someone who is still active in the Mortal Kombat scene in terms of not only just playing MK11, but still in tune with the story. We'll start with you guys. Just let me know, what did you guys, first of all, what'd you think of the trailer, and what do you think of the synopsis of it?
Oh man, I think the synopsis is kind of awkward. Well, because the whole original character thing, which I never really think that's a good idea, but whatever. But overall, I thought about it. I was like, yo, it can't be worse than the last movie. So I might as well watch it because that movie was god awful.
That is a point. That is a point.
I'll give it a shot because, I mean, Annihilation set the bar as low as it can go. It did. Like, the music was good. I went to the movie theater to watch a soundtrack.
Yeah, that is true. Right. The music was very good.
What happened?
But it was so weird too, because the soundtrack was so like every fight had to have like, not only did it have one soundtrack or one song, some fights had multiple songs during the fight. There was no like seamlessly cut either. It was just like a hard cut next song. That film was bad. So I mean, it says, am I the only one not excited about the upcoming Mortal Kombat film? You're not the only one, Shane. I'll give my, I mean, if you were at the Weekly Geekly, you already know how I feel about that for the most part. Gamer, what did you think of it?
Well, it's like you say, it can't be worse than the last movie, but I give it credit. It looked better than I thought it was going to look, but I don't like the original character idea. And the only characters I actually liked were Sub-Zero and Scorpion. They look cool. Everybody else were like kind of like they were cosplaying as those characters. They weren't
like
really.
That's where all the money went,
I
bro.
was say the whole budget went to their outfits because it didn't go to Sub-Zero's special effects because that is literally just water. Like I think me and John may have talked about this. I think it was me and John. But you know how you put ice cubes, and like you have an ice cube tray, right? And you fill it up. For those who don't have an ice maker, I don't have an ice maker. I got an ice cube tray. But you fill it up with water and you put it in the freezer, right? And then you go to check it and it looks like ice. And then you go to break it and it's water. That's what his special effects look like. He's sitting there making the ice sword, and I'm like, that looks like that would literally not hurt anyone. As soon as you go to hit it, it's just like hitting somebody with the icicle from the storm outside.
It does. That's what it look like the icicles that be hanging outside your house when it snows and it's like freezes.
Or the
it's melting
on your Christmas tree or whatever.
Yeah.
Or light up ones.
It's so what'd you think, John?
Same thing. They put the budget in Scorpion and Sub-Zero and maybe Goro. And
you saw him jump out. Like, what if that's the only scene he's in the entire film? Like let's think about this, right? Do we know the runtime, chat? Do we know the runtime of this film? You're gonna put all these characters. It's gonna be another Annihilation, right? Or they're gonna miss out on a lot of characters and adding a new character that no one's even heard of before. Like, how is this gonna be good?
It's not.
And see, that's why it's easier to do the first Mortal Kombat game as a movie because the cast is so low. You could get everybody enough screen time. When you try to go like Mortal Kombat 3 with that big cast, it's like, okay, everybody can't get no screen time. Somebody will get left out.
But like, even if you go Mortal Kombat 1 with that cast, like Trent said, if you add brand new character, you have to do his backstory.
Yeah,
first.
that character now is the focus point. So every character that he interacts with is literally a side character. And if he's just a side character, why even put him in the film?
But
I don't understand.
They've already shown the scene of Sub-Zero and or I guess Sub-Zero trying to assassinate Scorpion.
So they're doing that story too.
So they're already doing that story on top of that.
So
which I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Why is that story have to do with
I
anything?
don't know, bro. See, knowing how Hollywood does all this crap, it's gonna piss me off if it means like at the end, like the plot twist is like, oh, Cole is actually Noob Saibot or some BS like that, man. Like, bro, like
no,
you know it's coming, man. He's gonna be somebody we know.
He's gonna be
Shao Kahn's cousin.
He's gonna be Shang Tsung. I'm calling it now.
Or his animality is he's Kintaro.
Right? Man, bro, I'm telling you, man, I don't like this whole original.
The whole film, he's holding low punch, and at the end of the film, he lets it go.
Bro, okay, so good example of where they did the whole original character thing. Where it kind of messed up a lot of the movie was the Tekken movie, the CG one, with the Shin Kamiya, and all he did was get his back broke. I'm like, okay, cool. You just wasted like 45 minutes of my time to see him get wrecked. I'm like, just so we can get to the real stuff.
Blackula says, which version of Sub-Zero do we think we're getting?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. Also,
it's gonna. I think man, it'll be Bihan.
It has to be Bihan
if they're doing the
then if there's a quote unquote Mortal Kombat 2, he'll come back for revenge or whatever, because like his brother.
Yeah.
That's if they follow the storyline, but where they going now, it could be anybody. That could be actually Sonya. We just don't know.
Oh my god! So, hey, can we talk about Jax losing? Like, he gets his arms tore up by Sub-Zero. Like, wasn't the story originally Shang Tsung though?
No, Ermac did it. Well, it depends on the universe because is it Ermac in both continuities or
no, it was
one and Ermac in the other?
It was Ermac and Goro.
It was Ermac and Goro.
Well, either way, I don't mind that too much because with the cast that they have, I'm like, okay, I could still see that being a thing. Like, all right, whatever. That doesn't bother me too much. Like, whatever, that's a small detail. He just loses his arms, but I mean,
which is weird because like in Annihilation, he got the arms himself. Like, he was like, no, I need more power.
No, hold on. Wait. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on.
There's a canon story.
Wait, hold on a second, bro. Let's set the record straight. Yes, in Annihilation, the man wore some extra like sleeves that gave him like big strength, and he ripped them off him in the end. No, in the game, he actually loses his actual arms. He tore them things off
like it was like a Halloween costume. Like, I ain't Jax no more.
That's why
I didn't get no candy.
Hold on. That's why I can't talk around come laugh because I remember it because the arms were like metals, I don't know what, and all of a sudden he just ripped them off like they were like
They're
it was
like
cloth.
rubber.
Like,
And
wait a minute,
I'm
what?
saying, bro.
I'm saying it would have been, yeah. So at least these arms look better, right? Like, let's talk about the pros of the trailer because, like we said, Scorpion and Sub-Zero looked good. It looks very bloody, which if you're a Mortal Kombat, that's what you're watching it for, right?
Supposed to be.
Yeah, supposedly that's what they said. It says real bloody movie, supposedly.
So here's what here's what I'm taking away from it, and I think I said this on the Weekly Geekly. When you have a video game that someone is taking the franchise and making a movie, they just literally remake it in their vision. They're not trying to remake that story. They're making their own story off of an already established franchise.
That's like
that's counterproductive, though.
It's so lazy.
Yeah,
it's very
it's so
lazy,
bad.
counterproductive, and also if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you're going to have that group that's okay with the story and you're going to have that group that's not. But if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you're going to see it either way. If you're not a fan of the video game, it's not going to make you watch this film. You're not bringing a new audience in. So I don't understand why changing the story is necessary. I know in Mortal Kombat 11, they gave Chronica, like saying like everything is canon, right? Like all universes of Mortal Kombat's canon.
Well, that's the way they spun it, is because she's created so many different timelines that in a way you can say that anything we see from any Mortal Kombat is canon in its own reality. So they all exist at some point.
So
or got erased, or it's crazy.
Yeah. So you could argue that that's what this is, and if that's the case, like I don't have to like it for it to still be an okay film, if that makes sense. I don't have to agree with it, but I still think this is a waste of. I think it's a waste of resources, time, and ultimately the real Mortal Kombat fans are probably, they're not going to enjoy it. It's not going to be that great of a film, and we're going to still be under the same trope of video game movies are pointless. Shane Thomas says that according to Rotten Tomatoes, it's only an hour and 35 minutes.
Ooh. That's a lot to get through.
DVD.
Yeah.
DVD.
If it's that short and everything we just saw, man.
If that turns out to be true, that's absolutely atrocious.
Isn't Annihilation like about that long? Like 90 minutes?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, they with that one, something was already established before, and they just went right into it. But you can't like do a whole new story and just run it with a. I'll watch it.
It's gonna be, what's
watch it, see what happens.
Cole.
Yeah,
Cole.
The MMA fighter, I think.
I got a problem with, bro. You got like Liu Kang and Hanzo Hasashi and and then Cole.
Like,
bro.
So that basically tells you with 90 minutes, it's going to be Cole's backstory, like him getting into the training, getting into MMA, getting into the tournament, and then Scorpion and Sub-Zero's backstory, and then the end of the movie.
That's it. Oh my God! What if this ends on a cliffhanger?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
It's got to.
And they probably will.
It's gonna end on a cliffhanger.
Then it better be good, because otherwise there'll be no sequel.
They're pretty much pulling a Resident Evil, and they're gonna have their own movie universe, and people are gonna enjoy it. I think it's a waste of time.
Calling it now. They're gonna have the scene of like Quan Chi or somebody walking through a portal at the end.
Come for your souls.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
It's gonna be just like the Shao Kahn thing from the original first movie. I guarantee.
It was godlike, and then you go to the second movie, and it was like, what?
So bad that he kills Johnny Cage. Oh God.
It's all a biker with a
All right. So we're all in agreement here that it's kind of meh. It's not good. It's not bad. Which is probably what the film ultimately the film will end up being bad, but we're all gonna watch it, I'm sure. So we're gonna move forward. Street Fighter V had their update. Had a big update. New character came out. New Dan, if you follow the franchise, came out. But they added a new mechanic, V-Shift. And they are, pretty much going to go forward with a new season. I think this is the last season for Street Fighter V. But it was a big update, and people are already starting to find ways to exploit the new system, which is fine. That's what you want. But within hours of the game coming out, the new character, aka new character, not really new character, Dan pretty much has an infinite combo. Yep. So, like, It's not even that
Worst
difficult to
character in
pull
the game
off.
is the best character in the game because
Do they even play test these things?
That I don't know.
Why sidestep when you can block?
Jesus, man, bro.
But ultimately, this season does look pretty good for Street Fighter V. I think it's probably the best Street Fighter V has looked since its existence, and it came out. It's what, 5 years in? Has it been that long?
About,
yeah, it's well, close to.
Chad, when did Street Fighter V come out? Let's look
it was
it up.
2015.
2015?
I think so.
Is
like
that
either
game
March
6
or
years
April or
old?
something. Yeah, something like that. I think.
Hold on. To the internet.
It's close to that. It's at least I think
February
2015.
16th, 2016. It is 6 years old.
Yeah, 2016.
Wow.
Yeah.
Or no, not 6.
5 years.
5
It's
years
five.
old.
It's 5 years. Yeah,
5 years old.
It
It turned 5 years this month.
Yeah, it literally just turned 5 years old. I don't know. I think the game, this is going to breathe a little bit of life into it, but I think ultimately the game is it's obviously on its last legs.
Yeah, I mean, and then you gotta think too. This is actually a new team running it. They got new people in charge now and stuff, so they got a different vision for it. But they already said this is the last season, so they probably already been working on Street Fighter 6 already. They're just getting this out the way for commitment purposes.
What should be like some others? Because you know how I had Street Fighter Alpha come out because the numbers are getting too high or something. Like instead of Alpha, be like Street Fighter Beta. Be like after this crap happens.
I don't know what they're gonna do with the franchise as a whole. I kind of feel like they shouldn't make another one. Is that bad to say?
I don't feel they should make another one.
I don't think there
style.
should be another Street Fighter.
I would say that if this one was universally loved by people, but
yeah,
I think
need at least
at
a
this
good
point,
send-off.
I mean, do you really want this? Do you really want Street Fighter V to be the game you end the franchise on?
Well,
exactly.
The biggest problem with that though is that if anything that they do now, like they're gonna have to constantly try to come up with a gimmick to make it different than Street Fighter V. And they came up with this gimmick to make it different than 4. And 4 had a gimmick to be different than 3.
True.
So I just feel like I feel like Street Fighter is a legacy game and they should move forward with a new IP. Make a new fighter and make all new characters. Make a new story and just make new characters. Well, here's the thing. The people that already play it don't want something new, right? But you're not looking for people that already play it. You're trying to get new players involved. We'll take Guilty Gear Strive, for instance. That game is going to pull in a ton of new people because they are actually trying to dumb it down to make it easier and more accessible.
More accessible. Don't say dumb it down. Make it accessible.
More accessible. So because of that, more people are interested in the game. Whether they stay or not, it's irrelevant. They want that money off that initial purchase. That's what they want.
Yep.
So with Street Fighter,
Street
Fighter V had a horrible launch, and it's only slowly been successful, and it's just barely that. So I'm not sure another one is really where you need to be. Blackula says, need more 3D fighters. I hate that phrase, but when they do it, dumb it down is what happens. 3D fighters? No, we don't need more 3D fighters.
We got plenty of that.
I need a fighting game that's just good.
That's what we need.
I just want a game that's good.
Well, the problem with that is
barely playable.
The problem with that is like, I want a game that's good too, but it's like what people think is good now is like, oh, we need easy buttons and all this other nonsense that actually just at the end of the day makes the games really broken, and it's just like not fun. Like it's as time goes on, the more lazy people get, the worse the games become to me. Like
I think that, comeback mechanics and stuff like that have to stay in the fighters for the casual audience. It does hurt the game though. I don't think I don't want to say top level player because that's not the right term. I would say in the mid range of players, competitive, I don't think any of them like a comeback mechanic. I don't think any of them do. But the problem is that they're small compared to the group of people that they're making the game for.
True. Very, very true.
So they're gonna stay. But that's also why I said we don't need another fighter. Because they need gimmicks to sell games.
Well, the problem is a lot of these people that are trying to ignore, because we're the smaller majority, the bigger people listen to those people, and if those people say this game's trash, nobody's going to buy it anyway, like influencers and stuff. So can't just completely ignore us.
Well, here's the biggest problem though. Most influencers aren't really that good at the game.
Nonetheless, still, exposing your game for you. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. Maybe this is
they're just marketing. I mean, that's really all they are. It's just marketing. It's a way to get.
They're the loudest voice out of one or a couple people.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just haven't in recent years. I just haven't had a game come out like that was really good, to the point where I was like, "Hey, I don't mind playing this." It's just been kind of feel like forced to play stuff because I have to, rather than I'm sinking like 8 hours into this just because I'm having that much fun. Like it's been years since that's happened to me.
Well, like influencers are like the bridge for normies to, the game. So it's like, oh, these people like it's the bright flashing lights. It's like, oh wow, this person like is really cool and they play this game, so I should play this game too. And that's the reason why influencers get games earlier, get like all this stuff. It's
the DLC first.
Exactly. It's marketing. That's all it really is. Like 9 times out of 10, the influencers are nowhere near good at any of the games that they play.
Which is what sucks so bad when they're like trying to go over the updates or go over the game and they're trying to tell you what they think is good. I don't blame them.
Yeah,
I don't blame the influencer because they're just doing what they are paid to do and they are doing it to the best of their knowledge. The problem is they're not very knowledgeable. That's the problem.
Majority of them. No,
but here's the thing.
Yeah, there are influencers that are good, like say Yipes. Yipes, I still feel like Yipes is an influencer, but he's also extremely good at the games he plays.
I would 100% agree with Yipes, but he doesn't push out content like as he's pushing it out to showcase.
Yeah.
He's literally just playing the game.
Yeah.
He just happens to be very well respected and liked.
Here's the thing, though.
Omega says, "Take that, Max." Hey, I've said my thoughts on Maximilian a few times. So great
here's
guy,
the thing,
great
though.
guy. I don't hate him. Great guy.
No,
it's not his fault.
Hey man, he's doing his thing.
Yeah, get that money. It's not his fault. Good guy. He's watchable. So that's why. But just don't take a lot of the stuff he says at competitive level to heart. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Here's the thing, though. You're talking about don't need a new game or whatever. That you can still make a good game, and you don't have to I don't say dumb it down, but you don't have to need the mechanics or anything else like that. And that's probably why a lot of people are liking Strive, because in a sense, it's still Guilty Gear. It still has a lot of stuff that Guilty Gear is. There is no combat mechanic. It's still got your Roman cancels and everything else like that. They just took a lot of stuff out that people made in the game, that like the just frames and stuff like that. They kind of made it easier or took it out completely. It's still Gear. It's just that they just made it less technical. You can do it, and plus also these guys have been actually talking to communities, both hardcore and casual, about this game. Like they've put a lot of work into it, which is surprising. Yes, which is surprising. They've talked to the community a lot about this game. Like the game, how it looked now to where you first saw it, is night and day, because you listen to all the feedback people gave. And even now, after the beta, they sent a thing out saying, okay, what did you like, what you didn't like, what you should change, what we shouldn't change.
Dude,
they're literally building this thing for the community.
Was how much damage these characters do, because
that's all like a 3-hit combo. It's like 65% health. I'm like, good God.
Justin was fighting what's his face. name?
Like
Leffen.
Potemkin?
Potemkin was like, he grabbed him twice dead. I'm like, wait. Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
Like I watched the Potemkin. He had like this much health left. And I think it was like a Milia or maybe a Jam with like that much health. And she jumped in. Or, yeah, it might
It's
have been
Milia because
Milia.
Jam's not in the game.
Yeah.
Jam's not in the
And
game.
she jumped in and he did a super and she died. Like just death. Just die.
Yeah, and he already said that that's going to be adjusted, so we already knew that. That's
that's just
whatever.
the beta, but
it's goofy.
One of the pluses to Guilty Gear Strive, Chad, if you're just tuning in, we were talking about Street Fighter V, moved on to other games, but now we're talking about Guilty Gear Strive, which was just had its beta and very successful beta, right? A lot of people came out saying that this is going to be a great fighting game to pick up when it comes out. And one of the big praises was the netcode.
Yes.
Actual rollback netcode.
And people were saying like they were playing people cross country and it was like it felt like you were playing people in your neighborhood.
They were playing
on Wi-Fi too.
And like people were saying the game was
now it could be see, I don't know. I didn't play it, so I'm not going to give my opinion on it. I think that if this netcode does work and other companies refuse to accept it, they are going to go under.
And that's something that
because COVID is not going away and arcades have. If you
and
don't
that's
have
they
netcode.
And that's what they acknowledge. She's like, people aren't going to the arcades anymore. People are going to play at home because of this, So you got to make the netcode good. And they did it with Acid Core. They experimented with that. They put netcode on, rollback on that. And that game blew up. That game is hard too.
That game on because they released it with rollback on Steam, and dude, people were buying the hell out of that game.
Yeah, and RC is hard. It's one of the hardest fighting games you're gonna play. Like there's so much mechanics in that game. It's stupid. Yeah, people still trying to play it. So imagine you make a game more accessible with rollback, and it's it's good enough for the hardcore to get into it, and pretty enough for the casual people to mash buttons and do cool stuff. It's actually genius. And if people don't see this, companies don't see this and do this, they're stupid.
Well, they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. And what I mean by that is like Smash Brothers is notorious for having bad netcode. Street Fighter V has pretty bad netcode. I think Tekken's is decent. Yeah. Or no?
It's when it wants to work. Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And I think Dragon Ball Fighters is pretty bad netcode too. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time I played it was awful.
Yeah, I heard Fighters was.
I haven't played it for a couple years.
If Guilty Gear Strive is successful on launch and the netcode is good, it doesn't have to be the best fighting game to win in terms of people playing it over yours. If this netcode is as good as people were saying, you either jump on board or you're going to get left behind. And that's literally what's going to have to happen if the new Tekken, the new Street Fighter doesn't do it. The days of having your friends over for the foreseeable future are pretty much over. So I think netcode is the way that they really need to focus. And not only that, but obviously making a good game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
Tekken, they did say that they were going to work on the netcode by the
Blackula says Virtua Fighter has good netcode and it's 9 years old. Here's the thing. He can tell. I was going to say, he can say that,
like 2 people
and the 6 people that play it would agree. No one believes you. No one.
I saw maybe like one Korean player, Tekken player playing. I can't even remember. It was Crazy Dong Paul.
He said there's more than 6 of us.
There's 7. But no, I watched Crazy Dong Paul play it, and like he was playing in rank, but he kept running into like the same 2 people.
I mean, Virtua Fighter, in my opinion, is a great game. It's just it's a niche game.
They're working on a new one now. That's what they're working on.
I kind of thought Guilty Gear was niche too, though. That's why I was kind of like,
Guilty Gear.
And that's what makes it so. And that's what my whole argument is, that it can be done, because Guilty Gear is very niche. but it's blowing up because they're doing the right things.
Well,
Like,
yeah, I'm
That's what I'm
saying, I was like,
saying.
it's been
'Cause,
niche
like,
up till now, but I'm wondering what's gonna happen after this comes out.
I don't
it'll
think it's going to be
probably
niche anymore.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna
Tekken
be
was niche
well,
too, if you think about it.
Yeah.
And
probably
Tekken
start
7,
to
it's
get
just like
more
everybody knows what it is now.
mainstream now, especially with good netcode. If the netcode stays good and they can market it like with more streams and stuff like that, it'll get popular.
Yeah.
So
Which
speaking of Tekken, we'll move on to that real quick. What y'all think of that teaser for an announcement?
That wasn't even a teaser, man.
Teaser for a teaser.
I literally sneezed and I'm like, that was it.
That's what a teaser is.
If you blink,
Yeah.
you would have
Nah,
missed it.
bro.
Yeah.
That's not a. That's nah.
It's a
bro,
teaser.
It's like an
I mean,
unfinished.
that's literally what a teaser is.
yeah,
So-
I didn't.
Do we think this is all original character?
It is original
I think
character.
it is. Yeah,
He already
it's
confirmed it.
original.
It's original character.
Which I'm
I called it though. I said it's gonna be the last character is gonna be original one.
Yeah, because they
My
already
only-
said a long time ago it wasn't going to be a guest. They were done with guest characters.
Yeah.
So
But like,
it wasn't
I
gonna
was
be
like, oh, it's
guests.
gonna be this character and that character. I'm like, they said they're doing no more guests.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got like 8 already or something. Like,
But
Yeah.
like my only issue with original characters, as we've seen with Leroy, they are broken when they first come out.
Blackula, she's
Wait,
just
you
gonna have a
think-
rocket launcher when she starts.
She just
Round
it's
one,
solid mid-tier.
round over.
No, her buff is that you start out with half health.
She's always enraged.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I don't know what
Not
her
all
fighting
of them
style would
though.
be.
It's just I
Is
think
it-
it was just season 3 that had broken DLCs though.
Well,
Negan was
wrong.
kind of when he came out.
Negan was-
Noctis was trash.
Nah, both Negan and Noxus were trash when they came out. They neither one were
And then
good when they came out.
Kuni
But
was a solid
but those were
mid-tier.
guest characters. Those were guest characters. I was saying original characters.
Yeah, the original character. Yeah,
Yeah, Leroy.
Yeah, Leroy and Fakam Ram.
Leroy was busted.
Busted.
But see, here's why though. Like this is the we need to think on
I
this
knew they were gonna be
conversation
busted.
where it's because okay, so a lot of the legacy characters they try to update their old moves to kind of fit into the system. It's like trying to fit a square through like a circle hole. But the new characters are designed from scratch in the system they were born in. So it's like
Yes.
of course they're gonna be retarded because they
That's
use
what
the
I'm saying.
mechanics 100%.
So she's either gonna be dumpster juice, or she's gonna be,
He said dumpster juice.
or she's gonna be season 1 Leroy.
Did this
Like,
guy say
Oh,
dumpster
she's
juice?
one Leroy, then
Yeah.
Vegeta's gonna be playing her because I'm tired of struggling
But-
while some
Tell
other
me,
clowns are like, oh, I hit two
Like when
buttons
she
in
first
one.
comes out, she's good. She's either gonna be 100% garbage, or she is going to be like god tier. There's no
See-
two ways about it, because they're either gonna nerf her into the ground so they avoid the backlash, or they're just gonna set her out into the wild so people buy her, and then
How long do you
nerf her
think
into
this
the ground.
season's going to be with her being the last character? Do you think it's going to have like another 6 months or a year, or do you think they're not even going to give it that long?
It's gonna end. The
Oh,
season's
they already
gonna
said this
end
is the
when it
last
usually
character.
ends.
Yeah, they already
Yeah.
said this is the last character. So this is it.
No, he's saying like how long do we
J4!
think
Thanks for the sub, buddy.
he's saying how long do we think the game?
Yeah, like
is
how
gonna
much
last
longer do you
after?
think Tekken 7 has before Tekken 8? If they
Oh, I
are
thought
I don't
this
doing
was
a
even.
Tekken
I'm
8.
not sure, man. But to be honest, though, if you're being honest about it, because arcades are dying and stuff, I don't know. I'm wondering if Tekken 8 is going to be like straight to console or the first time it happens. Because I mean, what arcades are they going to make
they've
money
already
off?
pretty
Yeah,
much
they already said that.
Confirmed,
Yeah.
Okay.
confirmed that they weren't going to do arcades anymore, or they're moving
But-
away from it.
Yeah, the other thing is, I'm not sure they'll do Tekken 8 first. They might just do some other crazy side project in the meantime, like finally whatever, like Street Fighter Cross Tekken or whatever, or
Rob was
something. You know what I'm saying?
saying that he
That's
was
not a
doing,
main game.
He said he was doing another project that wasn't Tekken related.
Yeah. Or,
Yeah.
well, I'm saying something that's not.
Yeah.
You know, what I'm saying it will be immediately Tekken, because I guess they don't want to oversaturate itself.
Well, that's kind of what I was
Uh-huh.
saying with Street Fighter. Like, should they just let these franchises go and start new IPs?
Well, with
think
Tekken, they
so,
have
right?
to make an 8 because they left 7 on a cliffhanger ending. So it's like, got to finish the
Story, yeah.
story.
But here's also other thing though. See, we're talking about us. You gotta think of the masses. And if you go 5 minutes without giving a Street Fighter, or without giving a Tekken, even the Virtual Fighter fans, it's small as it is, they've been crying for a new Virtual Fighter forever. And even people come randomly like, yeah, they need a new Virtual Fighter. You know, they never played a Virtual Fighter a day in their life. but everybody asked for
They
one.
still call it virtual fighter.
Exactly. So
They put the L on it.
They finished the whole word.
yeah. So if they ended Street Fighter and Tekken right now and came out with a new franchise and a trailer, there'll be a million comments saying, "Where's the next Tekken at? Where's the next Street Fighter at? This is BS. We didn't ask for this."
Yeah, but they'll still purchase it though, and then when they like it, they can move on.
And if they
don't
like it, they'll say.
Here's what I mean though, like, right, as fighting game fans, if Capcom came out and said, here's a new IP, right, and they have a whole new character, all the Street Fighter fans are going to be like, well, this is stupid, they should come out with a new Street Fighter. However, Street Fighter 5 is trash, so we're going to give this game a shot, and then it's going to be decent. And then from there, Capcom has a new IP, and then you can have your guest character of Ryu and Chun-Li like in Fortnite and sell tons of DLC.
But do you really think?
Yep,
it's also a gamble though.
On a new IP though, like
look
how many companies...
Here, look, remember, Street Fighter 5 only happened because of Sony, not because of Capcom.
Yeah, but it's still Street Fighter. Like,
but what I mean is that they weren't going to make it. Capcom wasn't going to make it. They got funded by Sony.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like, do you think any of those companies would take the risk of a brand new IP over something tried and true, which is what we see in movies and things of that nature? It's like they don't stray.
Nobody takes risks.
Like, nobody wants to take.
Yeah, I would understand that. Yeah, and I agree. I don't think they would take the risk. I just think that right now it's probably because think about it, right? All the original characters that are coming out for all these games, they are so far from what the original character concepts were of those fighters that the original characters are left in the dust. Street Fighter 5,
yeah, they're getting
you look at Ryu, right? And it was like, he can channel a fireball, right? It's like, oh, this is so cool. You know, Guile could throw a sonic boom. And they literally come out with Seth or Gil, right? In reality, those two should not even be able to fight those guys. Look at the G.
True.
The president.
Like, I can throw a fireball while I'm teleporting and eating dinner at the same time. Like, what?
It's like they're archaic now, and it's kind of like if you make a new IP, you're not held by those standards. You can do whatever you want.
I mean, granted, yeah, but like I said, is they don't want to take that. I think if anything, they would try to reboot another IP, like say maybe a Darkstalkers or like
something
Rival Schools.
Yeah.
Rival Schools.
See, I mean, even like
give me Rival Schools with Arc Systems animation. I bet you that game would be amazing.
No,
that game would be sick.
See,
yeah,
I don't think.
Well,
I don't think
3D
Tekken's going to drop anything anyway because they're growing.
No, I wouldn't keep it 3D. I wouldn't keep it 3D. So right now, are we all going to get Guilty Gear Strive? Is that how it's looking, chat? Are you guys going to pick up Guilty Gear Strive?
Might just cause.
I was going to get it, but I'm definitely getting it now.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I might get it just so that way I can get some views on Twitch. I'm kidding, guys. I don't get views.
Well, but see, here's the funny thing. It's just like you guys said. Like literally, I've always had like a very, very loose interest in Guilty Gear. Like I liked how it looked and that kind of stuff. I was like, oh, it's pretty neat. Like, you know, there's like two characters I like, and I labbed the beta for a little bit, even though I had no clue what I was doing. I kind of got the basics of it, but if this netcode's as good as they say, and I'm not having fun with my other games right now, I'm like, watch me end up playing the crap out of this just because I actually play it.
That's exactly what I was saying earlier. Yep, yeah, that's literally what I was saying earlier. If it's playable, these other fighting games are in trouble.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna go where I can play with my friends.
That's it.
Regardless of whether I like the game or not.
That's literally it. So,
who you playing? Gamer.
Oh, I'll say.
What's that?
I said, who's your character in Guilty Gear Gamer?
Oh, I play Kai. That's my character.
Okay.
Kisuke.
Shocker! I played Chip.
There's only
a shocker.
I played.
There's only one character I play when the other one isn't in the game, and right now she's not in the game, so I'm playing Milia. The other one's Dizzy.
Yeah.
I played Soul, so you know me and
Shocker
characters.
All right, so let's get to the meat and potatoes that we talked about 2 weeks ago, guys. Actually, it was 3 weeks ago when we mentioned it. We're going to talk about the arcade and the small little era of Funscape. For those of you who don't know what that is, if you have access to your computer, go ahead and Google it real quick. Just look at the picture. They pretty much all looked the same. But Funscape was an arcade for us attached to a Regal Cinema movie theater that also had, so it had its own road to it. Like right now, it's an entire establishment now. There's all kinds of stuff over there. But originally, you would get off of an exit and essentially take another exit. And it was a straight road all the way back. And what you saw was the Regal Cinema, right? This huge cinema. And right to the left of it was Funscape. Big, huge, 2-story.
Neon. Oh my God.
Massive building, right? You'd walk in, and if you walked in at the movie theater and, you know, you went to your left, you would see the food court, which was ahead of its time. The food court that was at Funscape was touchscreen, and people brought the food out to you. There was no waitresses. There was nobody that took your... You literally did it from there, which nowhere else had this type of technology. And it was a Pizza Hut, a Taco Bell, and a KFC. Is that right?
I was gonna say, yeah, because I remember eating pizza there all the time.
Yes.
Oh, the breadsticks. Yes. So you could get personal pizzas and you could get breadsticks, and the breadsticks would come with the sauce packed in the breadstick, so it was all like one big container. It was super awesome. Guyton says, man. I plead the fifth. So, but that place was so awesome. The bottom floor was all your redemption games, all your ticket games, and a lot of your like big like attraction games. I think there was like an airplane simulator there, I think, at one time, or like something along those lines on the first floor.
It was a simulator, but it had the first one I went into with that. It was like you were in a mine shaft. They had a bunch of different ones.
Yeah,
that was the 4D. The 4D.
Yeah, the 4D thing.
That was to the right of, like, you passed by that when you came from the movie theater side. So it was like theater,
the 4D. Yep.
And then the food court.
And then if you kept walking, there was a golf course.
Mm-hmm.
Right, a putt-putt course.
Mini golf. Yeah, like a whole mini golf. Like it was like,
and this was all indoors.
Yeah, the whole side.
Huge. And then they had
massive play place.
Yeah, they had the huge play place that was 2 stories. Now the second story of it wasn't, you couldn't get to it from the second story, just the stuff that was there was that tall. So you could climb the ladders and go to the ball pits and stuff. That was that, and they had slides and all that good stuff. Trio Tech is the company that does the 4D and motion rides. Guyton knows what he's talking about. Guyton is still in that industry, and in an industry that is struggling in the most parts of the world. Where he's at, it's not. So that's a good thing. Hopefully it never does. But at Funscape, they also had laser tag, right? It was one of the first places to have laser tag around here. And then you would go upstairs, and upstairs was the teenage/adult arcade section, I guess you would say. That's where all your Street Fighters were. And when you went up on the second story, depending on which side you came from, was kind of irrelevant, but it had an outside donut shape of games, and then it had an inner donut shape of games. So they made their own hallway. That was on the second story. That was on the second story. We're gonna get into the bumper cars, by the way. So we'll get into that. So I want to, now that you guys have envisioned this place that was a fantastic place, we won't talk about why it went under locally, but what we are going to do is we're going to talk about the good stuff about it. So, Gamer, what do you remember of Funscape?
I had the least memory of all y'all, because y'all remember when
you were in the military. You were gone.
I was joining the military, so I only came back when I came back to visit. I would like see y'all there or go there, but I didn't hang out there as much as y'all did. So y'all got more memories than I did. I just remember when I went there, I was like, dang, this thing is crazy about how big it was. Because at that time, like you said, it was ahead of its time and how big it was, and it was insane.
It was huge, man. It was so big.
You could literally spend a whole Saturday, and just between the movie theater there and everything around, you could spend a whole Saturday.
You spend your whole paycheck.
Yeah,
that place. You get the wristbands and stuff. I remember all that.
Yeah,
what do you remember about it, Marvin?
Pretty much everything we talked about, man. And I just remember the first time I went, I didn't know what it was. We just went for my friend's birthday, and I was like, "This is the greatest place ever." And anytime we went there, dude, I was hyped. I usually hung around the arcade.
I played. Mortal Kombat, Killer Instinct. Marvel 2 was not really big there, but Marvel 1 was played there.
They had X-Men versus Street Fighter, and I think they had Children of the Atom too.
Yeah, they definitely had a lot of fighting games. It was pretty much like upstairs. That's what it was. That was the first place I ever played Soul Edge.
The inner donut was the fighting games, and then the outer was like the action, like side scroller,
like Die Hard and stuff like that. But they had like Omega says that was the first place he played Bloody Roar and Guys. So they did. Yeah. That place had literally Funscape was a fantastic place. I'll tell you some of my memories there. So me being at the time a very well-known player in the area in terms of the fighting games, and having friends that worked at Funscape as well, from not only being there for so long, but they actually got jobs there as they played games as well. Chitin says no names, no name. I'm not saying any names. We're not talking about what happened to Funscape. We're just talking about the years that it was open.
I know what happened to it.
I know what happened to it.
We're not talking about that, guys. We're just talking about so here's the thing, right? So
we're just reminiscing.
We talked about bumper cars, right? John mentioned the bumper cars. We would play bumper cars after hours. So we would stay after Funscape closed while they would be counting out or doing whatever they were doing, and we would play bumper cars. But the problem is with bumper cars is that it's timed. And usually you have the arcade attendant that has the little button that pushes it that says go, and it was like a 5-minute timer. Everybody would do their little bumper car things, then it would end, you would get out and you would leave. The thing was, we didn't want to be done after one trip. So somebody had to go push the button, right? Somebody had to go restart the bumper cars. But then they got to get back to their bumper car while ours are active.
Oh, God.
No one was injured, but some people got hit. That's all I'm saying. The rule was the furthest person away from the button had to be the one to go push it.
Or I'd have hovered near it.
No, because what ended up happening is we in our minds knew how long the 5-minute timer was, so we would all gang up on one person and push them in the corner. So now they had to get all the way back to their bumper car by going through the obstacle of bumper cars.
Just share a seat with somebody before time runs out.
We also spent a lot of time in the ball pits because even though it was meant for, the younger kids, it was big enough for adults to go in there because they would have to be in there to go get their kids, or, attendants would have to go in there if something breaks. So we would go play in the ball pits as teenagers and older for like hours. This place was just great, though. The laser tag was ahead of its time because they didn't have any other places that had laser tag like that. I never actually played the mini golf, but it eventually got to the point where you had to pay to get into Funscape. You couldn't just walk in there. You would eventually had to actually start paying to go into the place. And slowly over time, they stopped getting machines, and the business was for some reason not making money no matter how busy they were. But it doesn't matter why that happened. It doesn't matter that it slowly decayed because of greed. What does matter is that it was an awesome place to go to if you were just going to have fun and you were going to take your kids to. And if you guys did not get to see this place, I'm sure there's videos out there. Shane said that there is a Namco Funscape in the UK where he is at or from. Is that what he said? Is that what Shane said? Shane said, let's go back up. Namco Funscape is still a thing in the UK. Funscape London is massive. So
I'm trying to look for pictures of Funscape.
There's not a lot. I tried to look them up too. Chitin says, I actually think there have been there. Chitin says, I actually think I have been there 5 times not working and maybe 3 times while working.
Oh, I was there way more than that.
Yeah, and then he said laser tag across Lynnhaven Mall back in the 80s was the best laser tag ever. I can't comment on that. Omega says, them kids peed and pooped and vomited in the pit, and you know that those arcade attendants had to actually sanitize that area which is part of the reason why we were there at 2 o'clock in the morning. I remember I was working near where it used to be back in 06, and this couple was looking for Funscape and asked me where it was when I was getting off work. Oh, it's a Gold's Gym now. Actually, I don't know what it is now. I was right by there. It is still a Gold's Gym. So I literally was there. That's where I was.
I don't think it is the Gold's Gym. It's what's it called? Isn't it One
no,
Life?
It's a One Life. It's a One Life.
No. You want to know why I figured that out?
Because it used to be a Gold's Gym, though. That was the first thing it turned into after it shut down.
Well, because I remember where Funscape was in general, but I had. Well, one of my workout buddies, he wanted to go there one day, and I was like, sure, whatever, because I'd go to the Greenbrier Mall after. I forgot what day it was. They're playing games or something down there, but like. I went in there and there was something that caught my, something seems familiar. And I was downstairs and we're by where the treadmills were walking by. And I'm like, why does this look so familiar for some reason?
Oh, you get that deja vu moment?
Yeah, like I've been here before, but I've never been to this gym. And then I backed up and I realized, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this used to be Funscape. And then, sure, the weights and all that stuff are upstairs. I'm like, yeah, this is where the arcade used to be. I was like telling my friend about it. I was like, oh, that's where we are.
The place was huge. It was an absolute blast. I can't say I ever met anyone there or hung out there other than the people the arcade attendants I knew, and then the people that worked there is who I hung out with. I always went there with the people that I already knew and left there. I never actually saw I didn't see anyone there that was regulars, if that makes sense. It was always people coming from another area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't really know anybody that I could lean towards other than unfortunately the late Ray, who is no longer with us, who worked there. I think Smitty worked there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember Smitty working there.
And Sandro obviously worked there, and Chitin, he knows a little bit about it as well. Shane says they're all temporary closed because of COVID. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Well, but I mean they have. Now, I don't know if y'all have heard about the Apex Entertainment or whatever in Virginia Beach. It's kind of like the spiritual successor to it, if you really think about it. They got indoor bumper cars and all this stuff.
Cool. I think Funscape was a great place.
Dick's Sporting Goods in Virginia Beach and
yes.
Town Center?
Yes.
They took over that building.
Okay.
Oh, they did.
So I think Funscape was a great place. It's a shame that it went under. At least I think the whole franchise in the United States went under because I think it was a big thing to do with tax issues. But the one that was local,
why?
Yeah, local was a different reason. Our companies were sister companies, so I helped them a few times there. Oh, I got you. That makes sense. So, but overall, I had a good time there. I think that it was one of the better arcades in terms of just the scenery, not so much for competitive, but just as an arcade, it was a great place to go to. And right behind it was an ice skating rink too, if I remember.
Yes.
The ice skating ring is still there, I believe.
Is it? No.
I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah, it is. It's still there.
Chat. You want me to do a live stream ice skating? I'll do it. I'll do it.
You think you ain't gonna be able to walk after that surgery?
I know. I went ice skating one time, and oh my God, it's rough. It's fun, but it's rough.
I have been ice skating multiple times. I can ice skate. What are you kidding me? I am a ninja on the ice. I just can't stop. Okay. So you ever seen Mighty Ducks 2 where that dude's super fast and he can't stop? I'm not super fast, but I can't stop either. So
I put the link to the Apex place in the chat.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't mind going there just to see what it's like.
It's still there. The new Admirals GMs owns it, and he's a friend of the family. It's called Chilled Pond. See, look, see, get me in there.
Yeah, boss. I remember because they got the Coast Guard exchanges near there, and I go there sometimes because they got good stuff cheap. And I remember seeing it. I went the back route, and I saw the ice rink, and I was shocked that it was there.
So Shane in the chat sent me a link on Twitter for Namco Funscape, and it actually looks a lot like Funscape. It shows the bumper cars, it shows the ball pits. It's Funscape. It's owned by Namco.
Here's a question for you guys.
Oh, they had duck pin bowling there too, which they're also showing here. They had duck pin bowling there. That was, I can't remember if that was upstairs. It was downstairs. It was downstairs.
Mm-hmm. Downstairs is in the right corner, I think.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So, yeah, Shane. So what you see in Namco Funscape, that is what we had here. Just it was called just Funscape. But you could go to a movie. Right, you could literally
Namco had Cyberstation.
They did here locally. Yep.
Yeah.
Glen Haven and Greenbrier. But they had
Landscast.
You could go to Regal Cinema and watch a movie. If you didn't want to get the movie theater food, you could stop by and get Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC from, at the time, state-of-the-art, futuristic place where you could, touch screen, which is easy to do now. You didn't see that back in 1995. And then you could play golf, laser tag, duck pin bowling, bumper cars, send your kids to the ball pit while you go to a 4D ride. There was a lot of stuff to do at Funscape. It was a really good place. I enjoyed it. I didn't go there much, I would say, after like 97, 98. I mean, I guess if I went there to play Soul Edge and Marvel vs. Capcom 1, because 2 was in 2000. Whatever years those were out, I did go there. But it was definitely more towards when it first came out. There were special prices at the weekend. That's how it was for Funscape for us as well. So it was a fantastic place. I mean, I had good memories there. I didn't have any bad memories there. I know that, there was a lot of fights that broke out towards the end of its time, but that can happen anywhere. I mean, that's in an arcade setting, unfortunately, it happens. I mean, it just does. But that's Funscape in a nutshell. Is there anything you guys would like to add about Funscape that you remember, you miss, you want to let people know about?
I mean, I just miss arcades in general, but
well, yeah. I mean, that's
nothing in particular. The subject.
I gotcha. Well, before we wrap this thing up, John, is there anything you would like to leave the chat with? Anything you got going on?
I don't have a lot going on. I just ask that people be excellent to each other.
Definitely be excellent to each other. Guys, go give him a follow. He streams on Twitch every once in a while, but if you give him a follow, he'll thank you for it. Sure.
You can follow me on Twitter as well. Same name.
Yep, definitely the same name. He's way more active over there than he is over here on Twitch, so definitely follow him for a lot of gaming content. He is also are you still part of T7 Chicken?
Funny you should mention that.
Chat.
Yeah.
It's tea time.
It's pretty much done.
No, why?
Just for the most part, lack of interest, but also like it didn't really go in the direction we wanted it to. So, I mean, it's kind of just it was more difficult getting all the pieces to fall into place at the right times.
Yeah, it happens, and it was third party. It wasn't endorsed by Namco, correct? Exactly. Yeah, so that makes it very difficult too when you're doing it all without the source giving you help. So I understand that, and that's unfortunate. So don't worry about messing around with that, but give him a follow, guys. You still get some good information and definitely some good memes. He's definitely a memer. So if you like the memes, give him a follow. Gamer, what do you got going on this week?
This week, nothing much. I'm starting to go through my I kind of want to start streaming, to be blunt honest. I wish I could here, but if I would stream my backlog, because I got like a backlog of games. I'm like, well, we got this time. And when I got some time to myself, I might as well just go ahead and just beat some of these backlog games I got. Because I have some real good games that haven't touched.
Same.
So I was like, but I'm
gonna be laid up for a few weeks, so
yeah. So that's what I've been going through now to some of my backlogs. Yep. That's
I got you.
Guess so.
So
but also back in Street Fighter 2. I'm back into Street Fighter scene, getting back into that, playing that.
Boo.
It's just something to do, and I need to get back into Tekken, and I even let my Apex slip a little bit. I need to get back into both of those.
So you just got to get back into gaming. Is that what you're saying? Gamer?
That's pretty much it. Yep.
I got you. I got you.
Go from being a gamer get wrecked to gamer.
Exactly. Exactly.
Vegeta, you've been streaming a lot more lately, sir. Is that something you want to let people know that you're getting ready to be doing more this week, or are you not going to be doing it this week?
I don't know. I just do it on a whim, to be honest, man. Like, I'll play sometimes, like, might as well stream this, and then if somebody watches, cool. If not, whatever.
I say you can put up some numbers though. People been watching.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
I enjoy it.
Like 2 or 3. Yeah, no, you enjoy. You enjoy when the nonsense happens and he clips it. Like, man,
that's
come on,
that's
man.
what you do. That's what you do. Have you
Nonsense
not
is
watched
hilarious,
him in
though.
my streams? That's literally all he clips. Oh, Cyber's getting, attacked by his wife? Clip. Cyber's mad at his family? Clip. Oh, Cyber got shot in the face. That was so funny. Clip. There's no clips of Victory Royales, but there's clips of me getting shotgunned.
That's what the VODs are for. The clips are for
Exactly.
the fun stuff.
So, but you
I'm
got
glad
anything else going on, Vegeta?
entertaining. I just gotta do more overtime work and crap. In fact, tomorrow I gotta stay after hours and do another phone rollout, which is not very fun at all.
That sucks, man.
Just a lot of crap going on, but whatever. Same thing as usual for now.
I got you. Well, chat, if you want to, Cyber gets owned by his daughter clip. Hey, that happened. That literally happened. That is a highlight on my Twitch channel. It's worth the watch.
Yes,
it's like
is.
10 minutes long. It's worth the watch. For me, chat,
Watch that then.
tomorrow I will be streaming tomorrow night. We'll be streaming probably Fortnite because I'll be playing with the missus, maybe something else. Sunday, we got the Weekly Geekly. Anytime in between there, we're going to be streaming. Friday or Saturday. Omega Well
Wait a
tells in
minute.
the chat. What's that?
Isn't this the hour WandaVision this weekend?
Supposed to be.
Yeah, I think.
What?
Yeah, the last 2 episodes are supposed to be an hour long, or at least longer than what they were. So keep an eye out for
Each
that.
of them were
Is it 2 episodes or 3?
Yeah, it's 2 episodes left, 8 and 9. So don't forget to watch that. And so I will be streaming those either Friday night or Saturday night. I will be playing Dungeons and Dragons with Omega in the chat and Gamer here in the chat. But I don't know if it's going to be streamed, because I think Omega is supposed to stream it, but I don't know if he's going to, and I don't plan on streaming it over here on this channel. So if he does stream it, give him a follow. He's literally in the chat. You can see us when we go live. We'll be playing Neo Phoenix. Yeah. You can stream it.
Yeah. Phoenix can stream it.
You literally asked me if I wanted to play, like.
Yeah, that's because he wanted to keep it at 5 people. So we had the 5. But here's the thing. So we're not finished. So here's the thing. Archon is starting up his campaign. So if you want in on that, you're in.
How about saying we can shuffle characters around?
His campaign.
How about say
it runs on Jones time.
He is 100% not wrong, but he's got the bug right now. Neo says, wait, he has a campaign coming? Yeah, it's for adults only. So you can't play. Sorry, buddy.
If it's an Archon adult, that's gonna you probably don't want to play anyway. Trust.
Yeah, you're sorry, buddy. Actually, I don't know that that's true. I just know that he wants to start up a game, and so I was actually going to invite adults. So if you guys are interested, just throwing that out there. Anyway, so we're supposed to be playing this weekend. Yeah, our last game was 3 years ago. That's true.
When's Phasmo? that I keep not getting invites for.
Chat, why is he trying to throw me under the bus right now? I don't know if I don't know if I'm playing any Phasmo this weekend, but if I do, you're 100% on. 100%. 110%. Kinder Barbarian, steal your purse before I bash your head in. Hey, Chitin, why don't you join in on Archons? Why don't we just do it here? Look, let's do this for Chitin, Omega, and me. That's boom. Let's do it.
There you go.
You want to play, Marvin?
Negative.
Oh, what?
Be mad busy, bro.
Chat.
Gotta wash his hair.
He's gotta wash his hair. Hey, have a good one,
No,
Neo.
I
Smiley face, I
train
saw
and
you
stuff,
earlier.
man.
You have a good night as
I
well.
practice Apex and Tekken. That's basically what I
Hey, it's one night a week. You can't take one night.
Nah.
Nope.
Wow. Wow.
See, the one night a week that I can take, I'm here right now.
It be on.
Chitin says I gotta watch Neo's bike. I can't, chat. All right, we're done here, chat. We will see you guys next week. Hey, so chat, if you guys are following me over on Twitter, if you want to hear us talk about a topic, hit me up. In the meantime, we'll talk about some other old school stuff, and whatever happens in between now and next week will be the topics that we cover this week or next week. Whatever. Tuesday's 9. Yeah. We'll see you guys there. All right, chat. You guys have a good night. We're going to hit stream ending. And I'm going to leave it on that screen for about, I don't know, 15 seconds in case people are on mobile and they don't get to see it and I end up cutting it off early. Everybody tell the chat good night.
Good night.
Chat.
Stay defaulty. Peace. Let's just wait.
Huh?
What? We got to wait. We got to wait because, I'm going to hit end. Oh, Superman and Lois tonight. I won't forget, Shane.
Is this the after credit scene?
It is. This is the look. We're gonna come right back. Here it comes. Watch. Hey, we're back. Welcome back to Coin Op Conversation. Okay, no, all right, we're done.